I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Upfront. Less than 48 hours until polls open in Wisconsin, the critical races and the push to restore trust in our elections.
Because if we don't have that, we don't have democracy, period.
Plus, Milwaukee County's executive, the Democrats' push to secure the Republican National Convention and the critical issues facing the county. And a former prominent Foxconn executive talks with our Matt Smith, the new job he's landed, and his response to the company's failed promises.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Voters head to the polls Tuesday for Wisconsin's spring election. Hundreds of local races are on the ballot statewide, including the prominent race for Milwaukee mayor. Yet local clerks are preparing for yet another turbulent cycle with a continued barrage of questions surrounding the integrity of our elections. Jerry DeShane, Executive Director of the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, is here standing by. But first, we want to play part of our recent debate with Milwaukee's mayoral candidates when I asked them about the results of the 2020 election. I think I should ask you both, do you believe that the city of Milwaukee had a free and fair election?
Well, I'm concerned about all of the accusations that have come forward. We have an obligation, certainly as mayor at the local level, to ensure that everything, absolutely everything, is above board, beyond reproach, and yet it seems for the last many years now, every election that we've held, there have been questions that arise about issues and so on and so forth. That needs to be addressed. So we have an obligation at the local level to ensure for the well-being of our community and to ensure to all of our residents that, yes, every election is above board. There is absolutely no cheating going on, and we're delivering what the voters, the will of the voters. So I have concerns about a lot of things that have gone on and the issues that have been raised.
Mayor?
That, I think, is troubling. Look, at a previous candidate forum that we had, Bob Donovan called the experts on COVID-19, the professionals, he called them so-called experts. Now he won't even admit, now he won't even say if we had a fair and transparent election in Milwaukee. That's troubling to me. That's troubling to me as the mayor of the city right now and as a person who lives, resides, and is raising kids in a majority-minority city. I don't think that's right. I can answer that question for you with a simple answer, and that's yes, absolutely, 100%. We had a fair election in Milwaukee. I know because I rolled up my sleeves and I went to Central Count on election night to help the Election Commission and to help all the people who came together to process all those ballots that we had to use during a pandemic. We worked to bring in a new election commissioner to preside over a consequential presidential election in the middle of a pandemic. And they did a great job, and they counted every vote, and they did it fairly.
All right. So we just heard from two candidates there, Jerry DeShane joining us now. I mean, listening to that, hearing how candidates talk about the election, what impact do you think that type of rhetoric could have on voters?
Well, it raises questions in voters' minds, obviously. And I think that debate and the debate we're having all over the state, there are questions in voters' minds. And our job, and I think our clerk's job, is to answer those questions. I mean, what people don't realize is that Wisconsin is a very hands-on state. We have far more local election officials than any other state in the country. There's 1,800 municipal election clerks. And what I tell people that have questions, I say, go ask the clerk. She will have an answer for you that could resolve your concerns. We do have free and fair elections, but I understand that people have questions. And what I'm saying is there's a source where you can get answers.
So the League of Municipalities with several organizations launched what you're calling the Build Trust in Elections Coalition and a statewide PSA called We Trust Them. That's why you're on today. So let's go ahead and watch part of that.
Sure.
Your neighbor is a local clerk.
Your friend is an election official.
Your family member is a poll worker.
We trust our local elections because our friends, families, and neighbors run them.
We trust our elections because we trust them.
In watching part of the PSA there, you just said people have concerns. Do you really think there's any way to convince people otherwise at this point with something like a PSA?
Yeah, I think people should go sit down and talk to one of those clerks, talk to your election clerk. Are we going to convince people? Well, I think you have to start. Trust basically has to start at the bottom. I have to know who I'm working with. I have to know that I can trust you to be fair. You have to know that you can trust me to be honest. And the only way to get there is to start with some just simple conversations. What we're trying to point out in that PSA is these are not people working, in a deep, dark office behind a locked door somewhere. These are friends and neighbors. These are people that are agreeing to sort of set their own personal opinions aside and just do the job as a public service. And yeah, I think over time that will reinforce in people's mind that, yes, this is a process we can trust, but it's a process we can trust only because we can trust who's actually doing the work.
Talk to me about the timing of this PSA. How did you decide when to roll this out?
Well, obviously, we wanted to have people talking about it around the time of the election. But the other really important piece is we purposefully waited until the legislative session was done because we wanted to be very clear this is not about the policy discussion. This is not about any particular piece of legislation. This is about the people that run elections. That's what the PSA is about. And we didn't want people saying, oh, you're just trying to push this or push that. That's not what we were trying to do.
And I think people would say, too, sometimes when you see a PSA, you might ask, okay, well, what stake, what political behind-the-scenes motivation does your group have for this?
Our motivation is to first rebuild faith and confidence in elections. Because if we don't have that, we don't have democracy, period. That's tremendously troubling. Our ulterior motive, and we do have an ulterior motive, is we want to keep those talented clerks doing the job of a municipal clerk. Local governments will not operate if you don't have those nonpartisan, non-affiliated people just doing the day-to-day work. And so part of our work was to reassure them, say, hey, we got your back. And the public will come around and say, yeah, we recognize those people, we trust those people.
Well, and we're hearing from quite a few Republicans who say, hey, there was no widespread fraud, but there should be changes to our elections. Do you think there should be changes?
I think it is absolutely right and proper to discuss the policy level. Keep it up here. And when it gets to the election, first of all, don't be changing things at the last minute. That drives everybody crazy. And frankly, that also breeds distrust. But if you look at the law, we update election laws and rules and regulations and advisories on an ongoing basis, and that's healthy. Nothing wrong with that. But the underlying system of democracy works. And it works because the people that do the work are just good, honest neighbors of yours.
Jerry DeShane, thank you.
Thank you for having me, Adrienne.
Up next, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley as he pitches for Milwaukee to host the 2024 Republican National Convention. The county itself is facing numerous challenges. He's here to respond to it all next.